We are live, 3:09 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:09 Greenwich Mean Time.
You got it
It's
right.
across, yeah, no, it's across the podcast, the best podcast you never heard of. Sam and Matt steering the ship off a cliff into an iceberg to the bottom of the ocean. Who knows where we're going? And if you're watching the stream, you're probably paying attention. You'll see we have a special guest. We have Josh Quinonez on the show. Welcome, sir. Thanks for coming on a Sunday afternoon. Welcome. And how are you?
I've ever seen anybody be on this show. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Cool. Well, like I said, we also, if anybody's listening into the live stream, the audio after this, you're going to hear there's a little echo because Josh just moved into his new place, so he's got that whole trying to get sorted, trying to get situated echo a little bit. It's okay. We'll plow through. It's no big deal. So, how are you doing this afternoon, sir? It's on a Sunday at 3:00. At least
I'm doing great.
Where we are, I don't know where you are exactly currently right now.
It's a beautiful day. I am in Palm Springs, California. So I think I'm 2
go.
hours behind you guys.
Yeah, it'd be like 1:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, California, nice. Palm Springs. I thought it was a Palm Springs. I thought it was Palm Springs, Florida. Isn't there a Palm Springs, Florida? I can't remember.
I don't know. Oh no, that's West Palm Beach, something like that.
Okay, yeah. So it's cool. So you're somewhere where it's not probably as cold. I think Matt, you got a bunch of snow this morning.
I saw that,
dude. Like, it's just not stopped all day. Like, roads closed. There's
I don't know how you guys live like that. That's crazy.
My question is,
it never snows like that here. That's the thing.
Right.
No one was ready.
We get tons of snow here, and actually, if you can tell, I live in St. Louis. So that's where we are currently.
Yeah, he's got that weird T-shirt.
Yeah. So anyway, actually, it's funny. I didn't even think about the shirt before the show started. I was wearing a hoodie because we were out running around, and I just took this off and I looked and I was like, "Oh, the Cardinal shirt. It's fine. That'll work. It's okay."
It'll do.
And it says "Great Best Dad." I don't know. Maybe I might be like top 50, top 70. I don't know. Really, I don't know. So we like having you like guests in the show, and the first thing we'll ask you is about your shirt. You can't see it on if you're not watching the stream, but it says Beast. Can you kind of explain your shirt, because that's pretty rad looking, actually?
Mr. Beast. Actually, he was having a live stream going on where he was selling and signing shirts. You probably can't see it, but
there you go, right there on the side.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh no!
Yeah, he was signing the shirts.
My daughters watched that. I saw.
Yeah, he's a good creator. He's definitely doing big things. That's for sure. Very cool. Inspiring. But yeah, he was signing shirts live on his live stream and giving stuff away at the same time. So I'm like, I'll just buy one. Just because maybe I'll win something at the same time. But it was cool, and I like the shirt. It fits good, comfortable.
Yeah, it's almost just about comfort, really. At this point, I can almost wear any kind of shirt as long as it's comfy.
As long as it's comfortable.
And then Matt's got his awesome TK Bay hat, of course. And your
look at that.
that PlayStation
always rocking
sweater.
the TK Bay hat.
Yeah, I
still need to get myself one of those.
Yeah, exactly. So we got to pick one up for sure. So yeah, we got a lot of stream in the chat. We got a lot of gentlemen. We got Simon, Aditya, Dave Burns. Who else we got? El Jefe. Hey, El Jefe's showing up. Hey, Jeff.
That guy, Jeff.
Yeah, welcome, sir. I'm glad you could join us. And of course, Vazikos, and people just kind of plow in here. And so we want to ask you.
Plow being the optimum word, especially when Aditya's here.
Yeah, just show up,
just
right?
Plowing through the chat.
I didn't really want to get into an innuendo, not even 4 minutes into the show, but I guess I just walked in.
Get out of the way.
I just walked into it. So, Josh, when did you start on YouTube, and like kind of just the origin story of like your channel? What are you looking to do? Like, how did it start organically? Was it something you always wanted to do? Influences, that kind of thing. Just the beauty and the beginnings of the Josh Quinonez experience on YouTube. How did that all start?
Well, I guess I started about 11 years ago. I found old videos on YouTube that I posted that I totally forgot was on there. Kind of like vlog style videos that I would do, and just kind of dumb, like singing while my brother's beatboxing and stuff. Old videos that I found, and I'm like, what the heck? I forgot these were even on here. I don't remember how I came across them. And then that was just for fun. And then like years later, about 3 years ago, that's when I started my tech channel. I mean, I've always been into tech, smartphones, always having the best smartphone out there. And and I would watch a lot of tech videos, and one day I just thought to myself, you know what, I could probably do this. Like, just let me try. And my first video is probably the most cringiest video that you've probably ever watched. Just a camera review. It wasn't even a review, but that's what I called it at the time. Basically picture samples and video samples from the the algae G4, I believe it was.
Okay.
And that video ended up getting like 10,000 views within like a week. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay. Maybe I can do this. So since then, I just kept posting videos. And I kind of took a break, started a vlog channel, grew that to about close to 5,000 subscribers. I had fun doing that, but then I came back to my tech channel and just started trying to be more consistent on the tech channel. And yeah, I love it. I love, especially when it comes to smartphones. I'm always about, trying to get the best that's out there. And that's kind of what I've always been about.
Yeah, and a detail, of course. I don't know if this is because he's requesting this or he's reminding you of this, but he said, "Yeah, you could." Yeah, it's probably because I think he's still remembering.
He's requesting it. He's like, no, you've got to say, "Oh shit, this was rubbish."
Yeah, well, I think I think a lot of the viewers remember the first Joshua Vergara episode where you could just like tell on his face like, we just told him, "Oh yeah, you could just use, you don't have to filter anything," and he's just like, "Oh really?" I go, "Yeah, we're not trying to do anything."
Well, honestly, I'm not really like a big swearer. The only time I really swear is if I get really, really mad at something, and then I'll
give it half an hour.
That, whatever.
Right. Well, we won't drive you to using that kind of language if that makes you mad, because then you'll probably just go, I'm out of here. No,
I won't say the same.
Later, guys. No.
Right. Exactly. So, well, that's interesting. And then I see. I think when I looked at some of your videos, I was watching them, and I think you're almost at 40,000 on.
Almost.
Yeah, you were getting closer. So, I guess my question is, I know everybody, the standard shtick, right, with all creators is I don't really care about the views. I don't care about the subscribers. I don't really, I don't really think about that.
Subscribers.
But then you'll see people make comments about, hey, I'm at 40, I'm at 50, I'm at, they'll say in one breath they don't care, but then they'll make sure that everybody knows they're getting close to like a benchmark.
Yeah. But we've got 72.
We got 72.
72.
Oh, nice.
Almost.
Nice.
Yeah, we're getting there. So, but I guess my question is, what are your feelings about, obviously the more subscribers you had, really it's probably more people are listening, more people are engaged, and clearly you want those numbers to grow because it means people are engaging and enjoying. But what are your feelings about like number counts? Algorithms? Have you had frustrations with the way YouTube does that kind of thing? How's that?
At the end of the day, if for someone that's trying to make money on YouTube, of course, views are more important than subscriber count. But I think subscriber count, at least for me, is also very important because it kind of keeps you going. Like you see people are subscribing to your channel and it makes you feel like, oh, wow, I got all these people that actually like my content. And while it's not hard to just press the subscribe button, they did it for a reason. They like your content, so they subscribe for you. So maybe later on in the future, they'll see another video that they like and they're going to watch it. And I think it helps to keep people inspired. Like, okay, like for me, I'm about to hit 40,000 subscribers, and to a lot of other big YouTubers, that's nothing really. But for me, it's like, oh wow, I got 40,000 people to subscribe to my channel, 40,000 people that actually like and watch my content. And while, like I said, subscriber count doesn't make you money, it's still great to know that many people actually want to continue watching your content. The fact that they press that subscribe button. And I mean, that's just me. Like you said, there's a lot of people that say they don't care about subscriber count, and there's a lot of people that do. For me, I think it's cool to be able to see how many people are basically joining your family there on YouTube. It's really fun to watch sometimes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. When you see like, really, all these people watch me.
Yeah, and while some of them they subscribe to you, and a lot of them, because when I do look at the analytics and stuff, most of my views are from people that aren't subscribed. So those people that do subscribe, they're not going to watch, every single one of your videos. So you can't expect that. But later on, a video of yours might pop up in their notifications or their subscriber box, and it might be a video that they're interested in, and it'll, drive them to watch that video. So
exactly.
It's always a good thing.
Yeah, it is always a good thing because, like you say, subscriber count, but views is the most important figure to gain the subscriber count.
Yeah, and then of course watch time. You need to engage with your audience within the video. Keep them attracted to that whatever video it is they're watching to keep them watching, because of course watch time is very important as well.
Yeah, and look, what's good about us is we're not looking to monetize, so that's not like a leverage point. I have a full-time job and outside of YouTube, and so we just have the YouTube stream because it's just we're broadcasting to Twitch and YouTube. It's really just almost kind of like a repository. It's nice because the videos kind of live there.
Yeah.
But really, we're an audio podcast. That's really the driving force behind it. And so we just like to talk to having people come on. So I don't really pay attention. Like, I've never actually looked at like the YouTube channel as far as like the analytics, or I don't even know how to do that. And I don't really necessarily care but I do pay attention to when we post the live streams, and we post those to like, Google Podcasts and Apple and that kind of thing. And I look and I watch Spotify, but really, I mean, I think the best show we've ever had, I think it was like 75 listens, maybe 80. So again, we just do it for love of the game. It really doesn't matter to us.
We got 109 views on a couple of our videos on Twitch.
Right. So now we're in triple digits.
Nice.
So now we're ballers.
Which is unbelievable.
That's cool. That's good. That's good.
For us, that's unbelievable. It's like,
right.
And honestly,
really?
Me personally, I don't look at the analytics all the time either. I mean, I'm still learning how to understand how everything works, because I never really got into the analytics. I started doing this for fun. I mean, it's something I love to do. Something I've always loved, and making videos and, just tech overall. And when I learned that, oh, hey, you can make money doing something you love too. Oh, okay, why not take advantage of that? But that's not why I started. And I always tell this to people too. I get friends that ask me, oh, should I start a YouTube channel so I can start making money and this and that? I'm like, no, don't go into it with that kind of mindset that, oh, I'm going to make money. No, do it because you love doing it. Your audience is going to be able to tell if you're really into it or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's kind of how I look at it. And I mean, the money is just a plus. Once you get to that point, that's just a plus that comes with it.
Yeah.
And
Dave's making a comment. He loves listening to us, which is funny because I appreciate that, because I can't stand. And here's the funny thing I've noticed, and I made a comment on one of the clubhouses I kind of jumped in. I made a comment about I try to listen to my podcast and I can't get through it. I can't listen to it. I was like, not so much of the fact that I don't think I sound the way I sound when it's
don't
recorded.
Listen to yourself talk.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, I find myself to be annoying. But I guess my question is, do you go back? Well, there's a couple people that like me. I think Simon actually says he missed us too. So maybe there's like 3 people that actually. But I guess my question to Josh is, do you watch your videos, and do you have that where you kind of, is it hard for you to watch your own content, like watch yourself and go, not necessarily be critical of it, but just like, can you just sit there and listen to it and go, God? Because every time I listen to it, every time I make a mistake, or every time I use the word "so" too much, or kind of, I find myself being overly critical. Not to the point of like, I don't like it, I'm gonna keep doing it. But how do you are you able to like listen to your own content? Just do you proofread it, like watch it before you post it? Just like, I don't know what that looks like, because when you're making B-roll, obviously you want to make sure things are lining up and the audio is good. But do you watch it and go, man, I just don't like the way this looks, or I don't like the way this sounds, or I'm like, I'll post this, but I'm not really feeling it. How does that look as far as your process?
Honestly, I hate watching myself. I don't like hearing my voice. I don't like watching myself, especially when I have friends around me. Oh, you just posted a video. They'll start watching. I'm like, man, turn that off. Watch that when you're not around me. And when it comes to posting the video, yeah, of course, I have to edit it, and I gotta. I'll have to.
Yeah, Jeff's having some fun with it. It's probably very true. So yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that you can't. Yeah, because it's just like, I don't know if it's just critical or just hearing yourself. I mean, I guess my question is, do you think you sound like that when you hear yourself recorded? You hear yourself when you talk to yourself.
Yeah, I hear myself. No, when I'm recording, I sound a different way to myself before I watch the footage. And then when I'm editing the video, of course, I have to watch the video because I'm editing it. Right. Did I really say that? No, I got to do that again, or I got to do this. I don't like it. And there's like, even right now, I notice since we started, and I tend to say that a lot when I'm talking. And I always got to remind myself, no, don't say that too much. Don't say that too much. There's different things that I notice I say all the time that I'm still trying to work on. But when it comes to watching myself, no, I hate watching myself. There's times where I'll edit the video, export it, and just upload it straight to YouTube without watching it. And then once it's on YouTube, I'll watch it to make sure, everything is looking good. And then I notice there's something I forgot to edit out or fix or whatever. So I got to take it down and then redo it and then upload it. So I do have to get in the habit of watching my full edited video before actually posting it to YouTube, because sometimes there is stuff that I didn't edit the way I wanted to or forgot to take out.
Yeah, I would think if you're trying to make and especially if you're trying to grow a subscriber count, you have to really be cautious about like listening to it, making sure things line up right. Did you were you saying something you have to edit it out, or does that B-roll look right, or just does you just I mean, it would be kind of like for us, we just literally take this show and I don't edit anything. I literally take the stream, I rip the audio, I put it on Audacity, I create the file, and I just upload it. Whatever
we say is stuff.
Hey, keep it natural. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I see Andrew's in the chat. Welcome, Fab Produce, up, and he's greetings, Earthlings, and near duels. So, I guess the question too is, what are you looking for like in 2021? I know 2020 was kind of a weird year, so I really don't use that as a metric because just everything with all the stuff going on with the pandemic and just it got a little weird. But I guess for 2021, what are you looking for? 50,000? Are you trying to? I mean, do you have any projects? I know you said I heard you were you said you were in a commercial, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's like a Verizon commercial.
So
how cool is that? So how did that happen? I'm curious.
Started off the year pretty cool, and so I didn't even know about this commercial. One of my buddies, Wayne, he messaged me saying he got some email for a commercial, but he's not going to do it because it's in LA. I'm like, well, like, what is it? Can pass me the link? It was Verizon and Samsung, and it turns out I was able to apply for it, so I did. I'm like, I'm probably not going to get it, but I'll try it anyways. And days were going by, and it was getting closer to that filming date. I'm like, I'm not going to get it. And then, like, literally maybe about a week and a half before we're supposed to actually film the commercial, I get an email saying that I've been picked. So I had the whole interview process, and they're like, okay, well, you'll hear back from us if you're picked. And literally the day before I was supposed to go over there, they emailed me for another audition. This time they had me saying lines and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're like, okay, all right, we'll get back to you. I'm like, I'm supposed to leave tomorrow. I need to know if I got picked or not. So they let me know later that day that, I ended up getting picked. So packed my bags and went out to LA for a week because we had to quarantine for 5 days in a hotel. Couldn't do anything. And then it was 2 days, one day for the dress rehearsal, makeup and all that. And then the next day was filming. But it was definitely a very cool experience. Something I've never experienced before. Way different than YouTube, that's for sure. But it was really cool. I would love to do more throughout the year, so we'll see what happens with that.
We'd love to be on a commercial too. And we'd love to be on a commercial too, but then
who the fuck's going to put us two in a commercial?
Nobody,
really.
Not unless they want. If they want to sell their product, they will. Yeah, well, maybe that would be cool. I don't know what we could sell. Prison camps. I don't know how that's going to work out, right? Yeah, it's a little bad. I'm just saying, I don't think if you want to sell product, I don't think they're reaching out to us because they're going to watch this and go.
Yeah,
how can we sell anything with these guys?
You never know. You never know.
This.
Yeah,
and it was funny. It was funny because it was for the new Samsung phone that just came out, the S21 series. Right. So I was able to mess with the phones early before they were even announced. I'm like, oh, cool. And they didn't even know that the phones hadn't even been released yet. Like, they were gonna let me take pictures and videos with it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go back and get my phone so I can shoot some of my own video with it. They're like, oh, okay, well, don't you use this on a daily basis? I'm like, no, it's not even released yet. They're like, oh, okay. So they wouldn't let me have the phone unless I was in front of the camera because they didn't want to risk me filming any footage of my own with it after I had told them that. So I kind of messed up there, but yeah, it was funny that they didn't even know.
Yeah, how funny is that to get the advertising people? I mean, I can understand that that's not their lane, right? They don't really think about that. But the fact that they had no idea, it's like they were just going to let you like walk around, take video, and you're just like, no problem, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this is not a released product. Oh, okay. Well, then you got to stay right here and don't move and don't go anywhere with the phone, right?
Yeah. And they were all iPhone users, so that explains everything. They
of course. So. What do they care, right? So speaking of that's a great segue. So I noticed that you were a lifetime Samsung person, lifetime Android user, and you finally took the plunge and tried the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Made first impression video, which I did watch, which was kind of funny because you can see like the general, like your first time you're looking at it, you're like, wow, this is actually kind of like, it's kind of cool. Also because and I like the fact that you acknowledged that in the past that you had really thrown shade. Like I was a hater. Like you weren't like you were like straight up like, look, I just was basically like hating on it. I mean, flat out. I was just like, you're an iPhone user, man. I mean, I really appreciate because a lot of people, even if they try to deflect it or try to mitigate that they're kind of like, well, I always gave iPhone its due course. It just wasn't an iOS that I like to use. You were just being, back in the beta, you just were a straight, just a person that just was kind of hating on it a little bit and acknowledging that, which is kind of nice. So how has it been so far? You still use it? What do you think of it? I mean, because I know there's a video, but I just want to talk about it here.
Yeah, well, I paid money for it, so I got to use it every once in a while. And especially ever since, everybody's on Clubhouse now, and you can only use that on iPhone. So that's probably one of the only things that I do on there now. It's Clubhouse. And sometimes I'll put my SIM card in there to use it as a secondary device. But I mean, it's like I said in my video, like, I was always an iPhone hater. And most of that was because I started out with Android, and then all my friends started getting iPhones, and you suck, your Android sucks, this and that, and you need to get an iPhone. So the fact that they were hating on me just led me to start hating on them with their iPhones. And ever since then, I was just always an iPhone hater. And honestly, me personally, I just always found them boring. And I know people say, they just work, and they're not really made to have all these tons of features and this and that. And it's cool. And the 12 Pro Max, like I said in my video, it's a good phone. Like when I, in my review video, or kind of my review video, just kind of giving my experience with it. It's a good phone. There's no doubt about that. It's a nice looking phone. Me personally, I still can't get used to the notch because I'm so used to, my Android devices that I have without any notches. And, it just makes the display look so much better. And that, that's just me. It's probably something little, but that's just me.
No. Apple are all in on that notch. That's not going anywhere anytime soon.
It's notch good. But,
exactly.
Yeah. See, they're the kind of jokes we have on this show.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know. I kind of find it boring. I still throw hate here and there, to friends and stuff. But I know in the back of my head, yes, it is a good phone. And what's that?
They invented widgets, so you can have them on the screen and move them around, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's a good phone, but it's not for me. It's not for me.
And I have
Apple have never had bad hardware. Like the last few years, the hardware has always been good. Yeah. It's just whether or not you're an Apple person or you're not, really, or you prefer iOS to Android.
And that's the beauty of having multiple devices to choose from, whether it's on the Apple side. I mean, they only got one and 4 different, or 3 different, sizes or whatever. But you know what I mean? Like you got your iPhone and then tons of Android devices to choose from. You got a phone for everybody, whether you're like this or that or this or that. And that's the beauty of having so many devices to choose from.
Yeah, I like it, and I have a work phone. It's an iPhone 8. It's okay, and I put Clubhouse on it, and it's okay. I would never use it. I've had iPhones in the past, and and I was actually a former Windows Phone user before I really started with Android.
Oh, okay.
And so obviously when I had like the 1020 and the 920 and all those old Lumias and even some of the HTC and Samsung Atrix.
Even recently.
I still have my 1520 and a 950. So and I still use it. It's just kind of like nostalgic, really, right? It's like grabbing a Windows phone or a Palm Pre and throwing a SIM in it. But my thing is this. I told my wife, all my family are iOS users, including my daughters. But the funny thing was my one daughter said, "Hey, I'm kind of tired of Apple. I want to try." So I gave her my Note 10. So I thought she'll use it for a couple of days, maybe a week. She'll hate it, and I'll get it back. So she gets the phone. I show her the S Pen. You can take pictures, and she's like, "This is critical." And she starts using it. So I followed up through like a week and a half later, and I said, totally expecting her just to balk, right? And go, just give me my iPhone back, right? And she's like, "No, I'm not giving this back. I love this phone." I went, "Oh, wow, that plan did not work out well at all. I should have gave her my HTC 12. She would have hated it. I should have got rid of that." Right?
And that's the thing. A lot of iPhone users, they won't give Android a chance, so they don't know the experience that they're going to get. They're just used to what they have. And I've gotten so many of my coworkers and friends to actually switch over to either a Samsung device or another Android phone just after letting them try mine. And they love it a whole lot better than their iPhone. They're like, "Well, why have I been using this, for so long when I have so many great features on this phone?" So I've gotten a lot of them to switch. Actually, it's pretty cool.
Well, and I also noticed that it's not.
You feel like you're winning. You feel like you're winning.
I'm winning out here.
Right. Well, the funny thing is, once my daughter told my wife, "Hey," because they always had iMessage, right? It's all blue text and blue bubbles, right? And then of course now she's getting green text. And then when Becky found out that Kayla was not going back to an iPhone, she was like legitimately mad about it. She's like, "Well, So now it's like it's game over for all that stuff. So it's kind of funny, but I notice it's not even, right? It seems like iPhone users won't give Android a chance like ever. Like they're going to use an iPhone and they're like their heels are dug in. They're not doing it right. Yeah. And then, but you have iPhone, Android users that they'll dabble. They'll try an iPhone. They'll try to use it and be critical of it, maybe still not like it, give it a chance, but it seems like that crossover does not work both ways. If they're an iPhone user, they will not pick up an Android device. And they'll even talk themselves into like, well, I can't possibly use it. It's too hard. I'm like, what? Yeah. Well, now that you have iOS 14, it's the closest to Android really that it's ever been. So if you were going to make the switch,
the opportunity to customize it a little bit better, the way you want to, not exactly the way you want, of course, like an Android device, but they're getting there, little by little.
Yeah, and just I think to me, I told my wife, I said, here's how it goes with me. If you just have an iPhone and that's your only thing inside of the Apple, like you don't have an iMac, you don't have iPads, you don't have any of that stuff, I think you can use an Android device and be fine. Now, if you have a Mac and you've got AirDrop and you've got Apple Watch and you've got all this stuff, then yeah, it makes more sense because those things just work a lot more together, right? Seamlessly.
I think that's where I'm missing out. I'm not getting the full experience of that.
Right.
All I have is my iPhone. I mean, my son has this old iPad mini, but that's something he uses that we got, a couple of years ago. But I don't even touch that. And so I don't get to experience that whole going from the iPhone to the iMac and using all this Apple stuff. No. So maybe I need to do that to start liking it more.
There is no Apple products in my house whatsoever, not one.
And AR makes a good point here. The Pixel 4 is a great first Android device. I think if you the best. I would say either a Pixel or a Samsung device would probably be the best, if you're trying to get somebody the little golden books of going to Android from iOS, like how can you make that? I think that would be the best way. And I do agree with that. I think that the Pixel is a really good device.
Pixel phones are great devices. I love the Pixel 5. Even OnePlus, man. I love their software, OnePlus. I think they do.
For XL.
I think I like it better than what's on the Pixel, honestly. I mean, it's so smooth. It's just everything. I don't know. I still got to do my review video on one of the OnePlus devices, but it's great. I like the experience.
Well, and I was going to ask you, so how did you feel about going from Oxygen OS to this more kind of Samsung One UI? Now I know you're a Samsung guy because that's maybe why you like it more, because now it kind of aligns a little bit more with the Samsung.
Honestly, I don't even use the the One UI on my. Well, I do use it on my Z Fold 2, but not my Note 20 Ultra. I'm using a Launcher, which gives you that stock experience. Right. For me, the big thing is just the app drawer. It's something dumb, but I like going up and down rather than, side to side. For me, I can just, scroll up. If I need to look for an app that's not on my home screen, it's easier for me to just, scroll up and there it is, instead of going, from page to page or whatever. That's just me. Probably something dumb, but
no, and that's the beauty of it. If you do buy like a Xiaomi or any other kind of phone and you're not feeling the stock Android experience or that launcher or that overlay, you can just change it. You can use Nova, you can use
customize it however you want.
Yeah,
and about Android,
right? And I think also too,
but mostly because the recent Google phones, you can't move the date at the top and the day. And you can't move the positioning of the Google search bar.
Right.
Like they started to move away from being able to fully, but that's just the Google phones. All the other ones fine, but it's just stock Android. There seems to be more, no, this is where this needs to be, and this is where this needs to be. And I don't like that because it's worrying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and I also too like the fact that, and Josh kind of alluded to it earlier about the different hardware. Right, you got different OEMs. They have different kinds of hardware. You got Z Folds, you got Z Flips, you got Microsoft Duos. You got you've got
not piss yellow.
Yeah, I took this off, so I got the but it's one of those things where you have.
It was horrible.
It was yellow. It was pretty bad.
And it wasn't from the right skin people.
Well, because I can't. Our skin people, our sponsor, Extreme Skins, they don't have the Duo in hand, so they can't make
That's because dual screen phones hate the UK, no matter what company they're from.
LG not happening.
We don't have any. No LG, no LG Wing, no dual screens, no Microsoft phone, no nothing.
Oh wow.
No.
Yeah. They're not getting much love in the UK, but when it comes to the dual screen devices,
when it comes to the dual screen or anything, it's just.
How do you like that, by the way? I haven't even tried one.
Oh, the Duo.
Yeah.
It's when I first got it, I really liked it. Like I was so, because remember, I'm an old Windows Phone guy, so this was like we had heard of a Surface Windows device, fully knowing it wasn't going to run Windows Phone. We knew it was going to run Android, right? So, but just that team of Surface people working on some kind of like the spiritual Android successor to a Windows Microsoft device. So for like 6 years. So I was just like excited about it. And I will tell you, just using two screens and using it like this, once you start using this and using it, and I don't really do productivity, right? I'm not I'm not banging work with this, right? But it's nice to have two screens and have the flexibility of like, I can put it in compose mode or I can put it in tent mode. I mean, a lot of times I'll sit there and I will have a Netflix show and I'll sit it on my chest and I'll watch the movie. I'll lay in bed and I'll sit back like this and just watch the show, and I can or I can like if I'm.
That's why I like that, because it's not just it folds to here or flat and then that's it. They actually went a bit further to make the hinge so it was you can have it literally however you want.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it. No matter what position, what position it holds.
Yeah,
it's a good hinge as well, right?
It's a great hinge, and just once you start using two screens, it's not even multitasking. It's literally two things simultaneously. You're actually working. Like I will scroll through a Twitter feed, and then I can get a message over here. Or if I'm looking at, I'm shopping two different websites. So if I'm like looking at Amazon, I can actually go to the manufacturer's website simultaneously and do it. Or reading books, like the Kindle app works like a book. I mean, you actually turns pages. Yeah. TikTok, which is funny because I have to have TikTok because all my friends, all my daughters and my wife send me these links to TikToks.
Bad stuff.
No. It's actually okay. It's not too bad. But it's cool. It's optimized. So they have like the searches on one side while you're having the TikTok. So it's actually optimized for the Duo.
Okay, cool.
And I realize that, obviously for content, the Z Fold
optimized for the Duo, but none of the other big social media apps did.
No,
that's really weird.
I might have to try it out. It still looks interesting. I mean, I've been loving this right here.
It's just an amazing device. I mean, I actually saw it at the store and was playing with it. I was like, for looking at content, it's like, it's cool.
Awesome. I love it. And the speakers sound so good too. They get loud, like they're like tablet speakers. So
this is why I want to know because you love like the foldable. What do you think about the rollables?
The rollables are going to be interesting. Honestly, I'm excited for it. I'm interested to see, what it's going to be like, if it's going to be durable enough, to carry in your pocket every day, how it's going to work, if it's going to last a long time, or is that motor eventually going to give out? I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see
it should be good because it sort of gives the same ending to like the Fold, normal phone, big screen.
Yeah, and it just
all in once. But this just rolls out, so there's no crease. So I don't know. But
it's got me thinking if it's going to be kind of that same glass that's not so durable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's the only thing with these, because the rollables won't have the...
Because like the Z Fold 2, that glass is hidden inside.
Yeah. Right, it protects itself. But it's like
and this other one, it's not.
It folded on the outside. And that's the problem, because like the rollables will have, obviously, this less durable screen. But it's not got anything protecting it, and you obviously won't be able to buy anything to put on it because it rolls in and out. So that's a good point. How long will that last, and how strong can they make it?
Yeah, and I mean, and my question when it goes in, like, is it going to go against like an axle, right? It will, like,
I think it'll roll. Like how Apple
roll around the back.
Get rid of the chin.
Just like this.
Phones, they roll it around, don't they?
Yeah, I'm not like actually rolling on like a spindle, right? Actually,
I don't think it rolls. I think it just kind of like if you were to fold it, it would just kind of rolls.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean it rolls. I meant like Apple have got the curve on the roll where they.
So maybe you will be able to put like a screen protector on that front, because that's not going to move at all.
Right,
and the other part will just roll out.
Side, I guess, will deploy. My concern, and I guess my concern more is not about that. It's more about like torque, like this. Like me torquing. Because, when it's rolling, like how much of that frame is going to be, going like this, twisting, right? Yeah. What if you accidentally give it a little bit too much twist in one end? Will you bend the screen? Because like how it deploys, it's great. Yeah. I mean, it'll fold and it'll move. But what happens if you're holding it and something happens where you put a little bit too much torque or twist into it, and then all of a sudden now it won't roll right? Now it's offset, and now it doesn't roll correctly, right? Because you've knocked it off track, or it's now bent.
Well, that's the question. These are the questions we all asked when OnePlus and Oppo did the motorized cameras. and stuff. It just one of the things. First gen, probably few like the Samsung Fold. First gen, few problems. It'll just sort of get better as it goes on.
Yeah, it'll get better as it goes on. It's a learning curve for them. I mean, it's the first time doing something like this.
Off the flipping pop-up camera last year.
Yeah, but I mean, and then like you could expect at least. And I was so impressed with like the original Z Fold and then like the current one. How far Samsung was able to refine that hardware.
They did a really good job.
It's incredible.
I'm loving it.
The Z Fold's hinge now, if you see some of the videos when people are looking back, it's creaky, it's really loose. Yeah. But now you look at the new one, and it's like a third generation compared to the first.
And I'm surprised. I ended up taking the screen protector off on the inside, and I still haven't had any scratches or anything like that.
He did the unthinkable.
No, because the screen protector that it comes with, it ended up getting it just wasn't good and started getting sticky. So you couldn't
I was going to say, I heard a lot of people saying it didn't feel it was.
Yeah, so I actually took it off. I took it off on video, on my review video. I just ended. I'm like, because I was talking about it, and then right on the spot, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it off. Let's do it right here on video. Why not? I ended up taking it off.
It told you do not take the screen protector off.
Looks a whole lot better, and surprisingly, I haven't had any scratches and knock on wood, but
Right.
I'm really interested to see the next Z Flip. I don't know why, because I don't know what else they can change, but I don't know.
A bigger screen on the outside, that's pretty much more durable glass on the inside.
It's got to be like Motorola's.
Maybe a thinner build, so it's when it's folded, it's not too thick.
I
don't know why they bothered at all with that screen on the outside. They may as well have just gone, do you know what? There's no point. Forget it. Right. If we're going to have it that small.
I understand the fold and ones that are like this way. I don't know if I don't like. I look at the Z Flip. It looks cool, and
Austin loves his.
Yeah, I don't know if like I would want to fold it that way, like fold it to more of a compact, like
you mean like we used to
size?
back in the 90s.
Yeah, it's just I don't.
Well, I think that's the benefit of having the Flip is that you can fit it anywhere. Basically, it's not like a big brick, like
right.
All these phones we have, and that's like probably why you would get one.
It's Samsung giving options, isn't it? I mean, they literally have a phone in every single price range. So if they're going to do a foldy phone, cover both ends. Do one way and one the other way.
Yeah. So. I definitely would use a Z Fold because obviously you have a Duo, but I don't know if I would get a Z Flip. I mean, if it was available, I'd try it. I'd like to try it.
Z Flip than Fold.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just like that's the beauty of it. You have both hardware choices. If you have an iPhone, you don't have that choice. You're stuck with 4 devices.
Apple will invent the folding phone in a couple of years. It's fine.
It'll be brand new.
Yeah,
it'll be brand new.
There's rumors that they're making an iPhone fold, a folding iPhone.
Yeah,
is that?
That's what I've heard that too.
They will eventually, they will. But Apple are very much in the mindset of we're not going to release it until it's perfect. So I wouldn't expect one anytime soon. A few years.
No, when they do it, they make sure it's good.
They won't release one with a crease. You know what they're like. Yeah. They will not release a phone with a crease in it.
Yeah, they're very big about hardware perfection. Software, obviously, they have bugs and that kind of thing. They're not, but when it comes to actually their hardware, when they're going to release something, they want to make sure that's their bread and butter. Yep. Their hardware is always top notch, and they don't want to compromise that.
Air power, no.
I don't know.
Air power was this next big thing, and then it just sort of. Gone.
Right.
That's the thing. If they were to make a folding iPhone, I don't see what the benefit would be to that. If it's going to work just like a regular iPhone, what's the point of having a bigger screen if you can't have any true multitasking or anything like that? You know
That's
what I mean?
The problem. iOS, a folding Apple phone will just be for the fans, the fanboys. It won't be for anybody. Like no one else is going to buy a foldy iPhone because, like you say, you can't multitask, you can't do any of that.
You're just gonna have a bigger screen to do exactly what you're doing on the smaller iPhone. I mean, at least that's the way I see it.
It's like having an iPad Mini.
And I just don't think that the people who generally consume and use Apple products or iPhones, I don't think they want that. I mean, I've used this in public and people go, "Wow, that's pretty cool," right? And I show it to them, they're like, like amazement, like that's a thing. Like they didn't know that existed, right? And I just don't think that if you had an Apple Fold, right? I don't know what you call it, iFold. iFold, right? You have an iFold, right? You have an iFold. I don't think regular people, right? Because how many users do you know have iPhones that you know of are using like S7 Plus or an iPhone 7 or a 6S or an 8, right? Not everybody's using the top line hardware. Those are people who
I see a lot of iPhone users that are
yeah,
using older phones.
would not take a swing on a foldable phone if you paid them.
Because the 11 is a good phone and it's cheaper. So
yeah.
That's one thing I will give to Apple is their phones, they last a long time. They're good for the long run, and that's why people don't upgrade every year like, Android users do.
Right, because we have to, because they stop having security updates.
All you're getting, like especially the last couple of years, you're not really getting anything from upgrading from the recent iPhones because they are literally all this. It's iOS, so
that's how I see it too. They're all almost the same.
And
it's hardware. It's camera and battery improvements. That's what it is. That's what you're improving.
The way they differed the 11 and 12 obviously is because they flattened the sides. Apart from that, if you were just looking at it from the back or the front, it's exactly the same phone, apart from the LiDAR sensor. What's that?
And I guess that's just how. Yeah, I guess that's the way it's going to be, right? It's just.
Oh yeah,
the way
we've seen it before.
Android users use their phones and how they buy and what they look for and what they're used to. They're used to having hardware and software choices. iPhone users, it works. It's just a lot more. It's a lot more easy, right? It's just a streamline. It's like, do I want to upgrade? No, I'm good with my 11 or my 10s Max or my 10 Pro or my iPhone 10. I don't need to upgrade.
Know that. Hence the many services they have and offer that aren't available anywhere else.
Right.
So
I guess. Go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry. I was going to ask you about your iPhone.
These Android users. What I like about these Android companies that make these phones is that they take risks. You know what I mean? To bring us really cool features. Even though, like with the the S20 Ultra, they brought out that 100x zoom, which not everybody's going to use. But the fact that a phone can actually do that, that's something really cool, and it can only improve, every year. Like with the new S21 Ultra, and from what I've seen on videos, it's improved a lot. So it's cool that on the Android side of things, they take risks with different features on these phones.
And they take risks with their designs as well. Like Samsung this year, they just went, we'll embrace the camera hump. We'll make it part of the...
like it's melting onto the phone.
Yeah, exactly. I like the matte black S20 Ultra. I really
it's nice. It's nice.
And
it looks so good.
Greg's watching on a Note 4. God love him.
That's what I mean. Samsung phones are... Apart from the problem with Android is obviously software support. The hardware lasts a long time, but the software support doesn't. That's the only thing. But obviously you can't expect Android companies with many different skins and versions and this and that to update for 5 years like Apple do. So
and that's why I worry about the LG kind of possibly leaving the market. Is they're one of the wackier, like trying form factors. The dual screen case, the wing, the rollables, right? Those are the kind of companies you need to kind of keep pushing, because then those companies start fighting into, Apple doesn't have to worry about that because nobody's going to run iOS on a foldable, right? They don't have to worry about if they bring 60 hertz across all their devices, that's it. If you're using an iPhone, you can't get 120 hertz. So they don't have to worry about any other OEM jumping in there and coming up with a new design or something wacky. They don't have to stay, and they can sit back and see if the rollable, foldable, dual screen thing catches, and they can say, that's cool, we'll get it, or that's a fad, we can just ditch out, we can kind of just circumvent it, and we don't have to dump a bunch of R&D and put a bunch of devices out there that'll dilute the brand. Because if they have a device that goes into the shitter, right, then they have to eat it, right? They'll have to eat that PR nightmare and everything else, where they can say, oh, that's cool, well, we're going to do it, and now everybody goes, that's the first time they did that thing. I go, no, they've been doing that thing for like years, right?
It's true.
Windows Phone, my 950 has Windows Hello. It's had iris scanning since 2015. That's a thing. Also, what's cool is, what's great about using a Windows phone, that 950, if you have Windows Hello, it'll work with a mask because it's iris scanning. It doesn't use your face. It looks just in your eyes.
These Apple users, peasants putting in pins.
You see this?
That's the best thing about being at work, obviously where I work. It's like, they look at what they're going to pay with their phones, so they're all there just like, and then they go.
Yeah,
and that's what I like about the in-display fingerprint sensor, like on my Note right now, because I don't have to pull that on the mask, just boom, unlocks, just like that.
Yeah, and so it's interesting to see. So that's the difference, really, is it's not so much just the hardware; it's really a methodology
Innovation.
and also the users, right? Users for Android phones are expecting. They know at the 2-year mark it's going to be probably hard to get a software update, or they're going to be looking to upgrade.
We know.
Whereas Android. Apple users don't have to worry about that because they know that their 8 Plus is going to get iOS 14. They're going to get it the same day, like everybody else. That's the one thing I have to admit. You can't get that because of the different manufacturers, but that's the one thing about iOS I like. It's like iOS 14 is out. It's across the board. Every device gets it. It just deploys and boom. That's pretty cool. But it's also the beauty of having your own house, right? You can change the sheets whenever you want when it's your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You can change the curtains. You can replace the floor, right? So it's a different. It's just not only is it the company methodology is different, but the users that use those products have a different thinking altogether.
Definitely. Yeah. But I have one question for Josh. BlackBerry 2021. What do you think?
I actually used to use BlackBerry a lot. My favorite one was one of the BlackBerry Storms, just because that's when they went to the touchscreen, and I like the fact that the screen was able to click in. I thought it was really cool. I think it would be cool if they came back, if they had a little comeback. And I think a lot of people that previously used BlackBerry might go back to that and try it out, because it's BlackBerry. You know what I mean? Right. So I think it'd be cool. I'd be curious to see what would happen.
There's obviously they've already said they're going to make a phone this year, but we still don't know obviously what it's going to look like.
Yeah,
I am looking forward to it, because I did like BlackBerry phones, even the Key 2 and the Key 1. They were good phones. Obviously they were for a select people, because not everyone's going to want the smaller screen and the keyboard. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do this year.
I know they were pointing more towards like business, like for business use.
Yeah, enterprise. Yeah. I'm excited if they come out with a phone that's pretty competitive and it's pretty well priced and it's kind of cool. I would take a swing.
I pick one up either way, just to see what they're bringing to the table.
Right, yeah, especially Josh. Well, he's an Android, still an Android guy. I mean, just if anything, just for the mere fact that my question would you get that if you didn't have the channel? Like if you're just Josh Quinonez, the regular guy, just using Android, going to work, and didn't have any YouTube presence.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Okay. Like, what? BlackBerry's making a comeback? What? I got to check this out.
Let's get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've got this horrible fear that they're going to market it as a business phone. They're going to send it to some reviewers, but then they're going to basically mark, because they know that they have no presence in the market for general consumers. So I just got this horrible feeling they're going to make a limited number and it's going to be a business-based sort of, where like they're aiming the marketing at certain places. A bit like maybe Microsoft will go the same route with the Duos. Well, because it didn't do well in the consumer market this time. Maybe they'll shift their marketing a little bit.
And I don't know if they, and I agree, because I don't think most businesses like the organization I work for, it's all iOS, right?
Everybody uses iPhones, yeah.
Right. So for enterprise use, for mobile devices, for enterprise use, it's almost always iOS. It's rare you're seeing companies.
Because iOS despite whether love them or hate them, they do have really good privacy security. A bit like BlackBerry did back in the day. BlackBerry's security, and that they're unbeaten even now.
So I think if Microsoft tries to, or BlackBerry try to leverage it as an enterprise or business device, it's going to bomb. And I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to at least the problem with Microsoft is you don't see dual commercials. They fall into that same trap that LG falls into, right? Nobody knows it exists. Like, I can't go to a movie. When I was going to a movie, it was always a Samsung commercial or Google. Like when Pixel started, you start seeing like ads on, right? Or when you're watching TV, you have Verizon commercials, AT&T commercials. They're talking about the Samsung, the Apple.
They got tons of money to push those commercials.
Well, what about the people in the movies, like Nokia, James Bond?
Yeah.
Sony
and that's the problem.
Marketing, it's in movies, product placement.
On Avengers, we saw the Pixel 4.
Yeah,
the Hulk was using it.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny part. Go back and watch a lot of TV shows. They're always using a Windows phone. If you go back to watch a House of Cards, they were all using Windows phones, and other shows like that. They're all you even look at the dialer, you see that it's like that the whole old Windows 8.1 dialer. I was like, yeah, Windows phone. My wife goes, God, you're such a dork. I was like, who would watch a movie and not be paying attention and watching the guy go, oh, look, it's a Windows phone. He's using a Lumia. Yeah, and you're like, you're such an idiot. Why do you care? I said, I know. I'm just holding on to nostalgia because I'm a schmuck.
And most people won't even notice that. But
exactly.
People that are into tech, of course we pay attention to things like that.
Well,
I'm curious to see. Like I said, I'm really wanting to see what BlackBerry does. I'm curious because I think if they bring something that's priced pretty aggressively or competitively, I'd love to take a swing at it.
It'll be very privacy, protect your data, and security focused.
Yeah.
Especially recently with the Facebooks and all these privacies and Google and everything else, all these data.
And I think that's the leverage. If you really focus on ease of use, but also this is the most secure. If you think that only Apple phones are secure, look at this phone. It's got privacy shaders and redactors.
Probably wouldn't even let you download Facebook on a BlackBerry. They'd be like, no, there's way too many security risks. Not having that on here.
But I think if BlackBerry, the new company that's going to take over that IP, I think if they really push that as an angle, that's where you can probably get traction is talking about, because people now are a lot more security focused than they used to ever be, between SolarWinds and all these hacking. And then look what happened to WhatsApp. They talk about just sharing data. And really, if you look at it, they really aren't changing much of what they were already doing. And people are like, fuck WhatsApp. Boom, it was gone. It was like, you know what I mean? And it just
I had to download Telegram just so I could speak to you.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. But just watch.
We're not affected here by the WhatsApp changes.
Yeah, because they're already in the EU. They already got
GDPR.
Yeah.
So I've never used a WhatsApp before, honestly.
Yeah, neither did I. And so that was how I talked to Matt, basically. And so
because it's free.
Yeah, it works pretty good. I like Telegram, so it works out pretty good. And I just think it's funny, but just to see what happened, like a little bit of media traction with WhatsApp and what they're going to share. And then if you really look at the right, but if you look at the details,
BBM,
they weren't really changing much. They were still doing stuff like that, right? You were still opting in at some point. So it's just funny how all of a sudden just one little bit of like little spark caught fire, and all of a sudden they had a mass. It was so bad that Signal servers crashed
because every single person who's complained and now deleted WhatsApp already has Facebook and Instagram. So it's like, why are you deleting WhatsApp? They already have everything they need to know about.
Just like any other app that you download off the market. I mean, they all ask for some type of permissions. You know what I mean? You don't really have your privacy.
Phone calls.
And right. And you're like, agree, right? You don't even look to see.
Agree. Okay, just give me the app.
Right. I just want to play my Angry Birds. Right? I don't care I don't care if they share my data.
Yeah, but why does like Angry Birds need to manage your phone calls? This is what I mean. It's a bit.
Well,
weird.
I remember with the back in the day,
so you can play the game.
Right. The funny thing was, I think remember they used to have like calculators that were asking for all these permissions. That was like what kind of really brought people's attention to like, why do these apps need so many permissions? I think that's really what kind of caught people to pay attention to like what's actually happening.
It's like, what?
Yeah, why does the calculator need to access my contact list? I'm looking at it. I'm trying to divide two numbers, right?
Well, that's why I think
there was this one app. There was this one app that I don't even remember the name of it. I probably should have made a video about it at the time, but it had something to do with my photos. And about 3 days later, after having that app, a lot of my photos were missing out of the gallery. A lot of them got deleted, and some other photos were on there. I was like, what the heck? No way. I got to delete this app. I already forgot what the name of the app was called, but yeah, that stuff's real. I mean, some apps you can trust, some you can't.
That's why I like Android 11's approach to allow once, only while using the app. I mean, I don't know how effective this is, but it's the options that it gives you now.
Oh, yeah, I like that they started doing that, only while using it.
Yeah, and this is my daughter, by the way. She's in the chat. Hi Anna. That's my daughter. She's guarding my coffee cups. I have a coffee cup problem too. I have a lot of coffee cups, and she helped me. She got me one from her work that changes colors when you pour the liquid. It was a White Castle coffee mug. When you pour the liquid, it changes from blue to white. It's kind of neat. I'm kind of that kind of stuff.
It's the small things.
Yeah. So
it's the small things.
Enough about tech. So you live in California. So have you lived in California your whole life? Did you move there? Are you a patriot?
My whole life.
Cool. So my question is, baseball, sports. How do you feel? Do you watch sports? Do you play sports? Did you play sports? Do you care? I mean, what kind of...
Back in high school, I played football, played basketball. But I've never been like huge into sports. Like after that,
football. You got to be careful because you got somebody from the UK. And if you say football, they'll go, "No, that's hand egg. That's not football. That's you guys playing stupid."
Whatever you guys call it, the one where you throw the ball.
Right.
I played that.
You throw the ball. It's called football. Sorry.
So high school football. That's cool.
Yeah, but after that, I've never really been too into sports after that. I mean, like I have, my certain teams. Like, I've been to a baseball game one time, and that was fun. I could never watch it on TV, but like going to a live game, obviously not right now, we can't anymore. But that was fun, experiencing it live, and I would do it again, whenever that time comes, we're able to again. But I'm not really too huge into sports like that anymore. Every once in a while, I'll see what's going on. I'm into boxing. I like boxing, but only because I grew up around that. My dad, he was a professional fighter. Yeah. Right. Yeah, my dad was a professional fighter, so I grew up around that. Watching fights, and I would go to the gym myself too. And actually, I want to start going back. I've been thinking about it. But I've always been into that and watching the fights. Oh, who's fighting this weekend? Who's fighting next weekend? If there's one sport, that's the one sport that I've always been like really
big fight coming up this year.
So I guess not just boxing, but I guess you would be probably the MMA and those kind of things as well.
MMA a little bit. I'm starting to get more into that. I'll watch it every once in a while. Last night that was
I didn't. Yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna. And he's like,
I didn't see anything. I didn't see the fight. I just saw him like laying on the mat. Look like he didn't know what planet he was on. He was he must have got his shit rocked because he was on the mat. He looked like I'm not kidding you. It looked like he was gonna cry.
Punched him in the face. Sort of fucked him up a little bit.
Yeah, he looked like he was crying. Yeah, he looked messed up. I'm like, man,
Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor and stuff, they were these people. They were the undefeated, probably the best of the time. Trying to fight now, it's not the way.
You're always going to have these guys.
It's like the recent Mike Tyson and that. It's like
dude, I saw Mike Tyson getting back in the ring, and I guarantee I saw Mike Tyson like training. I guess he's training for another fight at like 53 or 54, and he is lightning fast. He looked just as fast,
but. Like I say, he's just one of them. Obviously we know it's a money maker. We know they're money fights. Yeah. They're not.
For his age, though, he's
he looks awesome.
I think he could still knock out some of the current guys right now. If you were to put them in a ring with Mike Tyson, I mean, he probably wouldn't be able to last as long with them, but give him the first three rounds or something.
See, Anthony Joshua, I'm a big fan, but Mike Tyson would fucking just wipe the floor with him.
Yeah, and the only thing I give to Conor McGregor is he went 10 rounds with probably one of the best boxers in probably the last 25 years when he fought. When he's boxing. I mean, that's not his jam. I mean, that's pretty good. You have to understand. I mean, he's not just fighting some like underweight, undercard guy you never heard of. I mean, he's fighting Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is arguably one of the best boxers in 30 years.
The amount of money he got paid, I'd fight Floyd Mayweather.
I know, but you wouldn't last 10 rounds. You last about 10 seconds.
I would get in the ring and get knocked out the first round. All right, give me my check.
I was going to say $200 million. I'd get in and get knocked out and leave.
No, and I agree because we're thinking about it as us being like not professional fighters, but you have to understand Conor McGregor. That's pretty incredible if you think about it. If you look at his face, that Conor McGregor could go into a ring and box somebody in a boxing match for 10 rounds against not just some schmuck, FloydMayweather. That's pretty good.
One of them. It was just one.
Dude, that takes a lot to get in the ring. Just with anybody, it takes a lot.
Oh yeah,
to even get in there.
It was definitely for the fans because we enjoyed the fight. But they all end up in WWE anyway. So like,
it's interesting because I would have expected Josh to say that because it seems like most YouTubers. I would say probably all the people, and I never really asked this question directly, so don't feel like I apologize. I'm not trying to put you on the spot about like trying to
you're good.
Polling. Does Josh like sports? It's. I don't think a lot of people in the YouTube space, like when I look at people like Matt Moniz or Lou Later or Marquez or some big huge ones, they don't strike me as real sports oriented kind of people. Not necessarily.
His frisbee thing. What's it called? I don't even know.
Ultimate frisbee. It's called ultimate frisbee.
We don't have that here, so I was a bit confused about that's the sport.
No, apparently we're at. There's a question for Josh. Your dad's name, I guess, because you said it's something about fighting.
Do you not have the social security number and his address already? You want his name as well?
Steve Quinonez. There's actually a video of him a couple videos on him on YouTube sparring with Manny Pacquiao. He was a sparring partner for a fight. Yeah.
How cool is that? I would just like to spar against him, obviously, just because I would let Manny Pacquiao punch me in the face. Yeah, that's fine.
He's a cool guy. He's a real down to earth guy.
Yes. I assumed that when you come out here, when you visit, you were going to punch me in the face. I assumed that was going to happen.
Probably. No.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you like. I don't think we've ever spoke about boxing on this show.
No, I don't think
and
so.
I love boxing.
Oh, okay.
So that's something that's different.
I love watching fights. It's.
I used to pay attention
to. We're not
violent
violent people. We just enjoy watching people get beat the fuck up all the time.
Right. I used to watch boxing like when I was younger. Actually, when Mike Tyson was like in his prime and like and all those kind of times, I would watch. No.
Good fighter. You can't say he's not.
No, I'm not saying. I haven't paid attention like the last 10 years. I just really
honestly, I like a lot of the older stuff more than the current fighters. I mean, yeah, you got some good fighters, but back then, I feel like there were so many great fighters.
Like Sugar Ray Leonard and all those guys. Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard. Those kind of things. Yeah,
now,
I mean, just like watching. Yeah, I
names now. But you do have the underrated fighters now as well. Like, you don't expect certain people to beat certain people. It's like, never underestimate the little guy.
All it takes is one shot, one punch, like that. The one fight with Pacquiao Marquez, where Pacquiao got knocked out. I think he was winning the fight at first until Marquez just got him with that one hit, and boom, he was out. That's all it takes.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That's like, I can't even remember his name. This is really bad. The dude that knocked out Joshua for all the titles, and nobody, not one person would have put a bet on him. The Mexican dude, and I was like,
yeah.
See what I mean?
I forgot his name already, but I know you're talking about. The big Mexican guy.
Yeah, not in shape, nothing.
I think he says Andy Ruiz.
Andy Ruiz, that's it.
Yeah, and then he asked the question also.
I was trying to see that.
Yeah, did your dad fight Mickey Ward or Stevie Johnston?
Yeah, he lost that Mickey Ward fight, man. Mickey Ward got him with that hook that he's known for.
Yeah,
he got him with that one.
Watch out for the hook.
So that's cool. So I'm glad I asked about the sports because I mean I'm obviously and it's funny because being in St. Louis, I obviously you can tell St. Louis is a huge baseball. It's almost like kind of like comical. I mean the Cardinals are huge here, and I'm into sports. I played hockey and baseball, and I didn't play basketball, but I used to always do hockey. I did. They used to have a 3-point shooting contest for the entire school where I used to go, and I one year actually won the contest. And I don't even play on their basketball team. Yeah, I wasn't even trying. I did it. I really did it on a dare. I just kind of was like, and I was like, sure, I don't even play basketball that much. I mean, I play with my friends, but I wound up winning the damn whole thing. And people were like, why don't you play basketball? It's like, I just never been exposed to it. It's not that I wouldn't. I just didn't. It was a sport I just never. And then also, I think it was too because we didn't have a professional team in St. Louis. So we had the football Cardinals, and then we had the St. Louis Cardinals back when I was a kid. We didn't have a basketball team, so I just wasn't exposed a lot. Even to this day, I don't really watch NBA basketball because I don't have a team I follow. I was like, I mean, I don't really pay attention to it at all.
It's fun to play though. Like I said, I used to play back in the day too. It was fun.
I actually started watching English Premier League. That's what I've been watching. So because they'll show it on.
You started watching football.
Yeah, I started watching football. Not American football or hand egg. I started watching,
which was really weird because I was watching. Me and my missus finished watching something on Netflix last night, and I didn't know this was on. And then it was about 11:30, BBC One. There was an American football game on the TV, and I was like, "Okay, that's an
why are we
unusual
watching
thing to
this
see on BBC One."
Yeah, because the MSNB or NBCSN it shows a lot of EPL games, and so the Everton or the Leeds and I just remember, and I think it's why Josh, you said you went to a baseball game. It was kind of boring watching on TV. I think it's because with baseball, it is slow paced, but you don't know like the strategy of all the baseball. Like when I watch baseball, I know what's going on. Like I'm thinking actively, like, okay, here's a hit and run. Okay, this guy's going to pitch out. Yeah. Right, and I think with football, watching like EPL games, you don't know the teams, right? You don't know the players, you don't know the backstories. So to us, it's like, okay, it's 90 minutes of guys running around playing soccer, right? It's not. There's not a lot of goals, right? A 0-0 match can be exciting, or a 1-0 match can be exciting. But watching it, and I'm just like watching it, and once I started to learn the strategies and like why they're doing it, I was like, okay, now I can kind of see, right?
Yeah,
I
then
can
you get more into it. Yeah.
Yeah, even though I don't know any of the history.
You just got to watch it because like some games are really boring. Like you'll just sit and go, "Oh my god, will somebody just do something?"
Right. But then just knock a guy out, like clothesline a guy, something. I don't know.
Well, literally, Derby this season we've had a terrible season. Where the takeovers collapsing under our feet. We got no owner. We had no manager for the longest time. Wayne Rooney finally took over as the manager after being the standing manager for so long, after being the player. And now we're starting to get there. So we're watching these games where we've been losing all season. And then the last two games, we watched 1-0s. But they were then exciting because we were like, oh my God, we're winning. Come on! So it's like you just get... obviously, I'm a football fan. So we just get excited But as a neutral, certain games are better, like Man City, Man United, like that kind of thing. Our kind of thing in the Championship is probably not for you because it's probably boring.
Well, it's just that the problem is I don't know all the backstories. Like we don't know the managers, we don't know the teams, we don't know, and then there's
Derby,
right?
But obviously,
but then there's also
Rooney. You know Wayne Rooney.
I know Wayne Rooney, and
he's Derby's manager. Frank
but
Lampard
the problem
was Derby's manager before.
With Americans in sports, there are concepts in the English Premier League that don't make any sense in American sports. Like, Josh, I don't know if he knows that relegation. Like nobody, that's so crazy. So it's
we have so many football teams because obviously football is massive here. So we have so many cities in England that have a football team. So obviously one league is not going to suffice because it's going to be massive.
Wow.
So we have the Premiership, which is the top league, Championship, which is the second league, League One, League Two, and then we have the non-league sides, which are the conference sides.
Right.
So you can get relegated or promoted between each league depending on how good you are.
But you have to understand, for Americans, it's like, think about it. Think of the NBA. Think it's like the bottom 5 teams in the NBA went to a minor league team, and they had to play in the minor league the entire next year. So think of the Rockets and the Nets and the Phoenix Suns, right? All of a sudden they aren't in the NBA. Now they're in AAA, right? They're in a lower league. And they're like, Americans don't understand. No matter how shitty you are, you could be 0-16, right?
It's going to be different.
Like the Lions went 0-16. They don't get to play in NFL
but
Europe, right? They still play in the NFL.
Stories, and you get the the love and the passion. Like Leicester. Leicester got relegated into League One, and then they got promoted, and then they won the Premier League.
Right.
All in the space of 4 years, and it's like. That's the kind of thing because obviously it's normal for us.
Right.
That's the kind of passion that gets you into the game. Like you get relegated, your fans stay behind you even though you've run out of money. It seems like you're going into administration, and then all of a sudden you get taken over. You get back into the Championship, you get into the Premier League, and then you win it.
Yeah,
90,000 to 1. People were winning millions and hundreds of thousands of pounds from small bets on Leicester winning the Premier League.
Right.
Bookies hated it.
Yeah, and then also the concept of it's imagine instead of a player getting traded, James Harden just got traded to the Nets, right? Did you imagine that? Well, we're not going to trade him to the Nets. We're just going to loan him to the Nets for 6 months. That doesn't even make any sense to Americans. Wait.
Yeah, like I said again.
Why are you going to do that?
Yeah, it's just trade him, right? It's
American soccer is not involved in it, but obviously it is, but it's not as big. Football is worldwide, so all these players. Depending on how good they are, it's how you make your team better. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, if he looks really good, buy him. So we buy him, or we'll loan him. You can lend him to us, and we'll pay his wages, and we'll see how good he is. And if he don't fit, you can have him back next season.
Right? It's imagine when it's like getting Michael Jordan from the Bulls. With the Boston Celtics, we want Michael Jordan for a season to see how he works out, because and then if he doesn't work out, you guys can have him back. We'll just buy him.
We have to. There's meetings, there's contracts, there's deals, and everything else.
That's crazy.
So I wanted to ask Josh too about so 2021. I know I asked this before, we kind of lost track of it, but what's your channel looking like? Do you have any things that you had the commercial? Is there a chance that could spin into something else, or what are you looking like? What would at the end on December 31st, 2021? What does Josh's YouTube channel presence brand look like in your eyes right now, looking at it? If you can kind of project 12 months, where do you think you want to be, or where would you like to be?
Honestly, throughout the year, I would like to try and get more consistent with my videos, because lately I haven't been, just because of the whole commercial thing. I didn't make too many videos during that because I was just kind of getting ready for that, and then the whole moving. I didn't have all of my gear with me to really make videos because everything was packed. Our moving date kept getting pushed back, and then finally we're here. So finally get to set everything up. So consistency is a big thing. I want to be more consistent, upload more videos, throughout the week, every week. And of course, grow my channel as much as I possibly can. I know growth has been a little bit slower lately because I haven't been as consistent. But last year I told myself, okay, 2021, we're going to hit 100K. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get to 100K subscribers.
Except buying subscribers. Don't do that. You organically grow, right? But but it seems like that. But I mean, that could really happen. I mean, I know you're a little short of 40, but you can get 60. I mean, I've seen numbers like that. I mean,
sometimes all it takes is one video. Sometimes that's all it takes. And I remember my first video, my first very big video that hit 1 million views within like a week. It was the Galaxy Buds Plus. I remember I uploaded that video. I didn't think it was gonna do good. I just uploaded it just cause. But I guess it was one of the. I think it was the first video on the Galaxy Buds Pluses. It was at the event. We got them for free, and I wasn't gonna make that video, but it was before my flight. I'm like, I got about 3 hours before I got to get to the airport. I'll make a quick video. I did that, just uploaded it. It didn't take any effort to make that video. I just kind of gave my first impressions and show what they looked like. And yeah, within that first week, I gained about 25,000 subscribers, and that video got over 1 million views. So it's like sometimes all it takes is one video to get a big jump in your growth on your channel. And I know it's a little harder these days, because you got so many creators out there now. Every day someone's starting a YouTube channel. So it's a lot harder to grow now, than it was a year ago or 2 years ago. But I think consistency is a big thing. And I know if I stay consistent and try to up the quality of my content, I'm pretty sure I can hit 100K. I'm trying to keep that in my mind. I'm trying to stay, positive. Like, okay, I'm going to hit 100K. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to do it. Well, it might not be reality.
The quality of your videos is already worthy of 100K.
That's very good.
Oh, thank you.
Genuinely, I really enjoy watching your videos and the way you shoot. It is just really good.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
But it will one video, and then people will look at your other videos and think, what, this guy's really good. His quality is good. He speaks his mind. You can tell he's not a brand loyalist or
Well, I like the fact, at least in your videos, at least the couple that I watched before we came on today, you clearly indicate that you like Samsung, like you are an Android guy, like you don't make any, and I think a lot of people.
But be careful. The best bit is that doesn't affect.
Right.
His videos.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but the Samsung guy. You know what I mean? That's
right. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're not making your it's like you're not being a brand. You are a brand loyally. You like Samsung. But you make it known. It's like, look, but I can be objective enough about this where I'm not just a Samsung.
Yeah, like I use other phones. I like Google devices and OnePlus devices, LG phones. I do like trying other devices, but
didn't say game.
As far as using a main phone every single day, Samsung just kind of has me. They're not, not because I'm trying to get in good with them or anything like that. I like what they have to offer when it comes to their phones.
Everybody's like that. Samsung for you, Microsoft for you, Asus for me. Everybody has their own thing, but you can still be objective. But some people,
and that's why I tried the iPhone too. And
this is what I mean.
And I even said in my video, who knows? I might end up liking it. You never know. I wanted to give it a fair shot.
Exactly.
Obviously, that didn't happen. But I had to give it a
quality comes in. You do the video, you do fair reviews. It's not like you comparing everything to Samsung, say, it's not good enough. No. You
and that's the thing with my reviews. I'm more about user experience than any, into detail specs. And I make sure to say that in my videos. Like if you come here for specs, you're not going to find what you're looking for. You can go watch another video. I like talking about what my actual experience was like with this phone, because the regular person, when they go to this, into a store to buy a phone or they're shopping online, they're going to want to know things like, oh, is the camera good? I don't care about the megapixels. Is it good? Is it going to be able to take good picture videos? Yes. Is it going to run good? Yes or no. Or is battery life good? Yes or no. I'm not going to talk about it's running this processor, this and that. I'll mention it really quick or throw it up on the screen, but most of my review is just based off of my own experience with
and that's what we like, because the user experience is the end be all and end all of it, because that's where we all are. We're in it, we're on the screen, everything else. Megapixels don't always count towards good pictures anyway. We've seen
because you can have a camera with less megapixels,
50, 12
pixel, right? Not great hardware, but good computational, and it works good.
Sony's pro camera modes and everything else, and they're using 12 megapixel cameras, so it doesn't mean you have to have 108 megapixels and this, that, and the other. Obviously it's for pixel binning, but again, most of it people aren't going to know. They're just using these big numbers for the average.
And half of that stuff I don't even understand, to be honest.
Right, it's just numbers.
Into full detail with that stuff, I don't understand half of that stuff. I'm like your normal person that goes into the store and
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why the quality of your videos is good, because it is just we can go to GSM Arena as nerds, or we already know the specs of most of these things anyway. We enjoy watching videos that user experience. Is it good? Is the screen good? Is it smooth? Does it lag? Blah blah blah. You know, like it's not going to be like, oh, this is a 120 hertz screen, but when you scroll, it sort of goes. No.
I think the three things that most regular people are looking for is, will the battery last me all day? Do I have to charge it a lot? Mm-hmm. If I take a picture, do I have to mess with it, or can I just point at something and does it make a good picture and or video? And does the screen
post to Instagram and get it compressed anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
And how does the screen look? Does the screen look bright? Does it look colorful? Does it look responsive? Yeah. Can I watch videos?
Colorful is the main word.
That's it. I think that's the three main things.
Capture people.
Yeah.
I think that's the three.
I'm more of a dull.
Yeah,
kind of person.
Well, I think that's the three things that, like, what Josh hits on. And, you know, he's looking at how does the screen look? Does it look pleasing? Is it responsive enough? Does the cameras take pretty good video and audio where you have to jack around with a whole bunch of settings to kind of get pro modes? They don't care about that. Yeah. And then the third thing is, do I have to plug this thing if I use it all day? Like if I'm on my day, do I have to plug this thing in 4 or 5 or 6 times a day? Right? How does the battery perform?
Yeah.
Does it? Can I
basically is it going to be able to handle your everyday? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're like one of those people.
Again, most people, like nerds like us, it's only got an 845 in it. It's not good enough. That's
people don't even know what the hell that is. They're like, I want to make Angry Birds go. I push the button and Angry Birds goes. I don't care about it.
They don't care about the Snapdragon whatever is out and this and
that. Which is why I think Google did what they did, because the 700 series chips in the Pixel 5 and everything that anybody would do on their phone, like literally most people, it can do.
Yeah.
It's only if you are a full nerd, but then you wouldn't be buying a Pixel, you'd be buying something like the Sony.
Yeah, when you look at it on paper, it's not going to be as good as other devices, but when you use it, it's a good phone.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a full-on nerd, you'll be going for the full, like the Sony Xperia Pro that's supposed to be.
And I haven't said that in my Pixel video. Like, I don't care if it's running not as good as a processor as this phone or whatever. It works good. It handles everything that I need it to, and that's all I need, And
then Vasco was asking a question. So your thoughts on the removal of the SD and the downgrade in resolution on the 21? Like I guess really be like the difference really between the S21 and the Plus versus the Ultra, like the real differentiation between hardware specs.
Oh no, I think he means the S20 last year, the standard S20 had a QHD screen. This year, the S21 has a 1080p screen. Right. I think that was a refresh rate thing.
Right. So what are your thoughts about the SD? Does that really impact you? I know you're a creator and you said you used to vlog, so if anybody would probably be impacted, it would probably be you.
Yeah, the SD card. I know I've seen a couple videos already where people don't really care. They're saying they don't really use them anymore. Me, I still use an SD card all the time. And that's why I think I'm going to hang on to my Note 20 Ultra for a long time if they're planning on getting rid of these SD cards. I didn't like that the Z Fold 2 didn't have one. I didn't know, when I bought it, and then I noticed it didn't. I'm like, oh, come on, you got to be kidding me. Because I don't have a laptop or anything to edit. I do everything on my phone, everything. Cool. Except for my camera. I recently got, a ZV-1 a couple months ago. So I've been using that to film, most of my videos. I still use my phone. But all I have to do is just pop the SD card out of the camera and throw it in my phone and edit my video. Because like I said, I don't have a laptop or anything. And it just makes it so easy for me to just pop it out, pop it in the phone and there. And if they're taking those away, I can't do that. Now I got to buy an extra thing to put the SD card in there and then plug it into the phone. And it's just extra stuff that I don't want to have to buy. You know what I mean? And SD cards are so cheap now. So yeah, it's
probably why.
It definitely affects me, but it seems like that's the direction we're headed.
Yeah,
it's definitely the direction we're heading. There's no way back from that. Like removing the headphone jack. There's no way. There's no going.
And
back.
That I used to. I used to use the headphone jack too, and I hate that I have to buy an adapter.
And I did see this too. ER makes it talk about. There's a rumor that the MacBook Pros are going to have SD card slot on the
all of a sudden, MacBooks. And then everybody will bring back the SD cards.
They're like, and it's funny because
most for us,
right. Which is funny because most
everybody
iPhone
brings back the SD card because of Apple. I'll be like, I don't care. It was because of Apple.
Right. And the funny thing is,
cards back.
Well, the funny thing is, people who are lifelong iPhone usually go SD card. What's an SD card? What? It's like because they've never had an SD card, right? They have no idea. Like you can buy a little card and put it
gigabytes of storage.
Yeah, you can buy extra storage, and it's like $30, and you can put it in your phone, and then
and that's the thing I like. I never had to buy, the 500 and whatever gigabytes of.
Yeah, I think the biggest I ever got was 128.
128 gig. Yeah, 128.
Yeah, because I think.
I think it was
like I think $20 or $30 or something like that. It's just, price performance. Yeah, 128 is the biggest I ever bought. And it's like,
it's because it's not got anything to do with any practicality or anything. It's cost, isn't it? It's price. They can charge you more physically for a higher storage phone than giving you the SD card slot. They can offer you 128.
And that's the thing. If you're using these devices to trade in, you're not going to get any more money for, a 256 gig compared to a 128 gig. You're going to get the same trade-in value.
Yep.
When
they don't charge you 100, maybe 200 more.
The storage isn't factored into that, right?
Yeah.
But
it's the price difference between them is ridiculous.
Yeah,
like the cost you buy a 128 phone for say $500, but then you want a 256. That's $649. And it's like, what?
But when you trade it in, they want to give you the same amount.
Right. No, this is like, I paid an extra $150. Why do I have a trade value that matches at least some of that?
Because you never will.
Give me that extra $150.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the difference too. And Apple did that. That was Apple's marketing strategy, right? They were like,
64 gigabytes for so long. That's why.
Right. And I think that's why. And then people, they sold like crazy. So Android manufacturers just look at that and go, well, I mean, that's a way for us to maximize margins, right? At the end of the day, these companies are in it to make profit. It's not about...
Not everyone does it. Yeah. Not everyone charges
not everyone.
ridiculous money, like for different systems.
But that's why the charger's out of the box. That's not a play on being environmentally friendly. That's just... They found out that Apple could get away with it. Yeah, Apple could get away with it, and they save themselves money, and they don't have to worry about it. So it's like...
Samsung, Apple. And Apple did it first, and Xiaomi and Samsung took the piss, and then they did it. It's like, come on, guys, you knew you were going to do it.
So I have to admit though, I've looked at the S21 Ultra. It looks like a really good phone. Like I've never bought an S phone.
I don't know
it's nice. When I went to do the commercial, they gave me the black one, the matte black one. It was nice. I was like, oh wow, this thing looks beautiful. It's
now
so
they
nice.
say it's really heavy and unwieldy.
Nice.
Did you notice a real difference between the S20 Ultra, like size and weight, or is it pretty comparable? I mean, they made it sound like it was a lot more different.
I didn't have the Note 20 Ultra with me at that time. Like I said, I had left it in the changing room. But just holding it in the hand, I mean, it didn't really feel heavy to me. I mean, it felt good. It felt really good in the hand.
It looks sharp.
Filter.
I like the way they did.
Hands.
Yeah,
it is nice.
I got used to using the ROG phones, so weight and size is sort of doesn't matter anymore.
It's like a tablet.
I got so used to using those heavy, big phones. Every other phone is just small.
But I mean, and that's funny is I've never owned an S phone. I've always had the Notes, right? From Note 4, 5, 7, right? 8, 9, 10.
Oh, okay.
I've never owned it. I never owned an S phone. But I'll tell you, if I were going to get back into using a Samsung, that S20 Ultra looks really nice. It looks really, that S21 Ultra looks really.
S21 Ultra.
It look. I mean, and I also like the way they
20 to 21.
Yeah, I like
going up with the years now.
And I like the fact that camera housing. I think it looks. The black looks really sleek. It looks minimal.
It's a really clean look.
And 5,000 milliamp. I mean, look, and now
the question nobody's answered though is the back, because obviously matte back glass phones, matte, scratch easier. So it's going to be one of them.
My Note 20 Ultra is still in good condition. I mean,
yeah. Now, do you use it without case? I mean, how do you feel about casing using?
Sometimes, but for me, I tend to drop my phones a lot, especially with the type of work that I do. And so I always have to make sure I have a case. Every once in a while, I'll take it off. But I do like to have it. There was one time my Note 20, I actually made a video about it, where I busted the screen on my Note 20 Ultra. I was out filming a video, had just finished filming that video. I was about to start filming another video, and I didn't have a case on the phone, and I accidentally dropped it, and it fell just on a little tiny rock on flat concrete surface. And that little rock just
Isn't that supposed to be Victus? Is that not like...
Yeah, but drop it on a rock. It doesn't matter if it's
more durable, but I think any kind of glass you drop on a rock, it's going to break.
Glass is glass.
And glass breaks.
It's going to break.
Yeah, that sucks when you drop it on a piece of something like debris or on a corner. It's
screen protects the skin case. Yeah, then you maximum coverage. Protect it from every angle.
I do think it's funny that, that it seems like, I think on the S21 Ultra, I believe it's only in the matte black. At least on the AT&T, that's all I've seen it in. And it's funny how everybody was like, I thought there was going to be this wide range of colors, and everybody just talks about having color options, and now they're like, you get one, you get black. And if you don't like black, you can have black, or how about black, right? And nobody's saying anything about it.
No, because
it comes with four other colors, I believe.
Yeah, but if you get AT&T's, you get black. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
because AT&T, Verizon are just like these companies that just go, nah, screw them. They can only have the black one. Yeah. We're not going to pay to have the other colors in our stores or on our networks.
Right, because people don't care, right? And Matt, I think AT&T is asking us a question.
What?
This is where you read words. There you go.
I am using a phone. It is all the way over there. I could see the fucking writing. It's so small.
It says, where can I pick up a snazzy skin for my expensive phone? Where can we pick one up, Matt?
I don't know. eBay?
You're an idiot.
Hey, no, to be fair, Extreme Skins have just done a new skin, Gold Driftwood. And it looks so good. I just got one for the PlayStation 5. It looks so good. There's some coming for phones soon. They just obviously got to make them all. And with COVID, they're all working from home, which makes the manufacturing process a lot slower. So bear with them. So deliveries are a bit slower at the minute. Manufacturing's a bit slower at the minute. But obviously that's because the world is on fire. And
still
everything is a little bit slower, but the quality and the price and the customer service and everything else is obviously still all the same.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I've got a case on this phone as well. Like I was just saying, case, skin.
I got that rinky
glass screen protector. But it's,
and I know,
yes, mainly because this Pixel has a crack in the frame there.
That's okay.
No, these wood ones are some of my favorites.
Skin looks nice though.
Yeah, Extreme Skins, check them out. They're good,
Definitely.
And like I said, you can get and they're a good company, great customer service. Check them out, and a little bit less than the other competition. So check them out. And I noticed you have.
And I brought this on purpose with the crack in it because that's the only thing wrong with this phone, and it was 150.
Cool. So, and I noticed you use Josh. You use sub cases now. Do you use those across your phones? Because it seems like sub case pretty much covers like almost every phone. They make cases for darn near, even though
they make
obscure ones. It's hard to find people that do that.
Yeah,
that makes tons of cases. And they were nice enough to sponsor my past Samsung videos. But I mostly use their cases for work. Those, they got those tough, durable cases, and they do a good job. I mean, every one of my review videos I do with their cases, I do drop tests, and my phone still looks like brand new.
Yeah, because I've seen when I've looked for
with the type of work I do.
Yeah, and I've seen more of like obscure phones. Obviously, the Samsungs, right? But like even phones that are, like the U12s and those kind of phones like that. You'd be surprised. Subcase seems to be one of those brands that you always seen that really covers a lot more of just the commercially acceptable.
I just talked to them. I just spoke to them not too long ago too, and they were telling me like, we want people to know that we don't just make cases for iPhone and Samsung. Like we're trying to push out there that we make cases for all these other phones too. Like we have so much to choose from. And I'm like, that's real cool. So if I ever get another device, send me out some cases and I'll review them. But they definitely got a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I think I've had a sub case before, and I was like really surprised. I was like, wow, this is actually, and for the cost performance,
it was. That make cases for some of the phones they do. There's a lot of obscure phones that get missed, like the gaming phones that I use, like the ROGs, and not many people make cases for them. At all.
It's hard to find cases for a lot of phones out there.
Surprisingly, the Sonys and the Oppos, they are very missed as well. I had to get the Oppo Find X2 Pro cases I brought off AliExpress because just simply there was some crappy ones on Amazon, and that was it.
So sub cases are nice. I've had one before, and I thought I think I didn't spend very much money at all considering, and it was like, wow, this is actually a really solid case. I mean, it didn't feel cheap. The buttons lined up real right. They were clicky. It didn't feel. I mean, they were solid. And I don't really drop my phones very often. Luckily, I've got just a bumper on this Duo. I don't drop them.
I do.
But yeah, if you're a person that drops phones, or you're like Josh, you look at more like an industrial or a rugged environment where there's dust and dirt, you could drop them in gravel or drop downstairs or something like that. If you're working in industrial,
you need that durability.
Yeah, you need that because especially
show off your skin.
Yeah, and especially if you get the fumble rooskies, right? You're a little bit of a fumbler when it comes to your phones, right? Yeah. You gotta get a sub case. So I'm glad. I mean, they look like really solid cases. So hopefully that turns in, and they would send you some more product. You can review it, and if they ever come across a phone case or a device I would gladly get a sub case. I think they.
Oh, definitely for the price, you can't beat it. And I don't. I also use Rinky cases, Caseology. They got some good cases. Spigen. I use a lot of different cases as well. Pitaka, they're my favorite super thin case that I use on my phone.
Never had a Pitaka case because I think it's because every phone I have, they don't make Pitaka cases for it. But I've heard they're pretty
basically.
Yeah, I've heard they're pretty good. I mean, and I like having. There's time, especially because I don't drop phones a lot. It's nice to have a real thin case like that because it keeps the profile. I was
surprised because of how thin they are. You'd think your phone would get damaged with them, and I actually dropped my Note 20 Ultra with one of those cases on
you dropped your Note 20 Ultra a lot.
my phone's been through a lot. It's been through a lot, but surprisingly nothing happened with that case. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I guess it is for a super thin case. It is pretty tough, I guess.
I don't think we should give Josh big expensive phones anymore. He's throwing them on the floor. We'll get him an
I've even dropped my Z Fold 2 before, and thankfully nothing happened to that.
Well, it's funny because when people give them phones for loan, they're like, hey, we've kind of heard this thing that you kind of drop phones a lot. Are you going to be able to handle this review period? Because I mean, we don't want to.
Never mind. Just give it back.
Josh comes up and he's like, has phones like in pieces.
And like, and he goes, "It's okay. I've got these guys at the sup case. It's fine."
Yeah. No, Josh returns the phone. It's in like pieces, and you're like, when you gave me this phone, it wasn't it was all together. Oh, okay. Well, it's not all together anymore. Sorry about it. I had a little thing at work. It's probably
see you next year.
It was really nice though. I really liked reviewing it until it exploded into like 14 pieces. But hey, it's all good.
No, the only phone that actually exploded was the Note 7.
Right.
It actually did.
Yeah,
exactly. So we're about that 1 hour, half hour mark or whatever, 1 hour 30 minutes. So Josh,
we've gone from the hour. We were going 2 hours, then we went an hour. Now we're sort of at an hour and a half.
We don't know. We're not really professionals, if you notice, Josh. We're just like here, right?
When someone says, how long is your show? I'm like, I don't know.
Just hanging out.
Cool.
However long it lasts.
And I think Aditya mentioned that he was going to, he I guess he checked out while he was watching this, checked out your content. And so you probably get a couple subscribers from this. So if you aren't paying attention to Josh's content, please, I've watched some of his videos today and I kind of paid attention. Check out his, Twitter feeds, watch his videos. They're really, really good because they don't. You can tell he's doing it with he really cares about talking about just what the phones do, like what I would, and it's not high level. Again, I'm glad it's not specs because I could read a spec sheet. It's more like what Josh's experiences are with the phone, and to me, that to me is the most. Those are the most. Well, those are the really usable videos, right? Those are the ones I enjoy watching because I want to see what a regular guy who isn't like. Okay, it's got an 855 and 865. Okay, what is Josh's real world use and what does he think about it, right? What's his real honest experience? Because he doesn't have skin in the game, right? He's not making millions of dollars off this. It's like, it's really good content and it's
that
really,
we know of.
Yeah, we're sure. We're pretty sure. So, but yeah, if you guys have a chance, check out. We'll make sure we put all your show links, your Twitter feeds, your YouTube links. We'll put those in the show notes so people can check that out. And if you have a chance, drop over to Josh's content, check it out. Throw a couple of subs on there, throw a like or two, and engage in the comments. If you got questions, I'm sure he'd love to respond to comments. And
I always do my best to comment back to everybody.
Check his
Twitter. It's hard. Picture. When you get 2 comments on your stuff like we do, it's easy to respond. When you get like hundreds of comments, I can't.
Yeah, but we don't even respond to the 2 comments.
It's usually either one of those spam one and then replay squad. Somebody helps us out with the replay squad. Usually Ross helps with the replay squad, right? And Gadget.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I do my best to try to comment back to everybody.
And it's hard, especially when you're trying to do other things. You got other parts of your life. You're working full time, trying to create other content. It's a lot of bandwidth to try to get those.
Oops.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. And he said he had a video that had 1 million views. Can you imagine if we had anything that had 1 million anything in it? How crazy would that be?
It was.
Yeah, us.
Yeah, all right.
Right.
If 1 million people watched this show one time, we'd be in jail.
Oh yeah, very, very likely. That's very true.
I think our highest is 109, which, to be fair, for us, that's really high.
That's good, though.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad at all.
People,
if I did a live show, I probably wouldn't even get close to that. I haven't done a live stream in a long time.
But it is, for some people, 100 breaking 100 views is not like, only 100. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, they would see it as a failure. Yeah, like you said, and remember, you
start somewhere.
You always start at 0. Yeah, you always start at 0.
We didn't start at 0. We started at 1.
me and you to 2. It's like voting for ourselves in a presidential election. I'm gonna write myself in. I got 1 vote, right? So we'll make sure that Josh, we get all those notes on there so people can check out your content. And if anybody watching the stream or listening to this broadcast after the fact, check out Josh's content. He's a really good guy, really good content. And let's see if we can push him to 100. He wants to make 100,000 subscribers by 2021. I think it's doable. His content's quality. Share him.
Retweet. Share.
Yeah.
Thank you.
r/glowing rectangles.
Check it out if you're on Reddit.
On one subreddit. Yeah. Honestly,
absolutely.
One share there can lead to a share on our Android, can lead to subscriber counts. Every little one helps.
Right. Cool. So, Josh, where can people find you if they want to reach out to you or watch your YouTube? Where are places where people can go to make contact or watch your content?
YouTube, obviously, just how my name shows right here on the screen, Josh Quinonez. At Twitter, Josh_Quinonez. And that's pretty much it. I have a Twitch channel, but I haven't really streamed on there in a while. So
that's okay. Well, maybe
on there just yet.
I'm glad you said your last name because on TK's show yesterday when we jumped in, he was like, TK said, "Who have you got?" And I'm like, I don't want to. I just don't know how to say his second name. I don't know if it's a British thing or it's because I'm stupid.
Yeah. No. Literally everybody has a hard time saying my last name. I've had someone say Quintez. It's like there's no T in my last name. Where are you getting Quintez from?
Yeah, well, my last name is
the first N is supposed to have that little Enya thing.
Yeah, the tilde. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out as far as getting your content there. I'm going to obviously keep following and push anything we can do. If we can drive a couple of subscribers to your channel, try to get you to that 100,000. It's quality stuff. I'm not saying that just to try to get you the number. Check it out. It's good stuff. You should. It's really enjoyable.
I'll create loads of new YouTube. And I'll just keep pressing subscribe on all of them.
Yeah.
And then you'll have to watch with every single one of those channels.
Yeah, right. I'll just have a line of phones like they do, like Mr. Who's the Boss does when he has the bloody...
The battery test.
Yeah. With all the phones.
Play.
I'll just press play on all of them.
Yeah, it's funny because then Josh is like, why do I got like 7,000 like simultaneous like subscribers and watches? And they all ended at the exact same time too, right? At 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
I just uploaded it a minute ago. What's going on?
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't me.
Replay squad. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, Josh, we really appreciate you taking your time. I know Sundays are a busy day, and you could be doing anything else with your day except sharing it with two guys here just talking tech. So we really appreciate you taking your time, and you're welcome to come on any other time, and we'd love to have you maybe a little bit later in the year. See how we're plowing through our goals, and we'd love to find out more of your thoughts.
We'll do a little update stream,
party stream by, let's say, November.
Yeah,
sounds good.
That's my prediction.
All right. TK Bay is in the house, so TK saying hi. Sabaho TK. Yeah, absolutely. So he's a big fan of the show, and he's been awesome with us. And we were on a show yesterday. It was like awesome. I couldn't believe we were actually on somebody else's stream. It was pretty cool.
That was so much fun. That was so much fun. And on TK's stream when. It was a surprise, and he didn't know we were coming.
Might have been a little manufactured.
I might have clicked a link I shouldn't have clicked, and then I ended up on the wrong stream. I don't know why.
Whoops.
Yeah. Hi, we're just here. Hi, we're going to stay a while. We're just going to show up at the wrong house and come in and have cocktails, right?
Right.
It's definitely a lot of fun. It's always nice to get to chat with TK when we can.
And I wanted to tell you, I posted on our Twitter feed, which not many people maybe caught. I am going to be doing this thing on March 5th. I follow a guy named David Goggins. He does really good. He's a former Navy SEAL, former Army Ranger. It's like just general badass kind of guy. So he has the thing called the 4x4x48. So what it is it's running 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 straight hours.
When do you sleep?
I'm going to do that. I think I'd be dead after 4 minutes. Never mind 4 miles.
Right. And so I'm gonna do that. So starting at 10 o'clock p.m.
I didn't even know this, and it's on our show's Twitter page.
Yeah. So I posted. Nobody caught it because I only got like 1 or 2 likes. But yeah, so it's on March 5th starting that, and so I'm actually what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna vlog.
I'll go and like it now. I'll like it.
So I'm gonna Twitch stream it. So at 10 o'clock on March 5th is my first. I have to run 10 p.m., 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m. I'm gonna do 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 straight hours. And I'm going to do it.
Well, good luck with that.
Well, I'm sure it'll kill me. I have a bad knee, so I'm probably not going to survive. But
I've done it.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that, and the reason why I'm mentioning on the stream is because I'm going to stream it. So it's going to be on Twitch at 2:00 in the morning and 6:00 in the morning. I'm going to go out to the bottom of my driveway. I'm going to turn my phone on, and I'm going to do the entire 4 miles, and I'm going to stream.
We're just going to listen to you breathing like you've been smoking 100 a day for 15 years.
Right, and the cool thing is, if I wind up dropping dead on the thing, it'll be like the greatest thing ever. It'll be viral.
Yeah, because if you're doing it on the Twitch channel, if you drop dead live on Twitch and it's on our Twitch channel, I'll just jump in and start doing another stream and pretend it didn't happen.
Matt's going to be like, remember the Sam and Matt? Well, he died doing the 4x4x48, so it's just the across the podcast with Matt, which doesn't make any sense because there's no across.
No, I'll find a replacement. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. And Simon says exactly. It'll be breathlessly swearing for 4 hours because I'll be like probably going, why in the hell did I sign up to try to do this craziness? Right?
I don't know. Be like, do you know, even thinking about running 4 hours, 4 miles every 4 hours is.
Well, for 2 days.
Running. I know, but that's just it. I don't do run like train weights, things like that. Yeah, but running, no,
I don't really like to run either. Yeah, I don't like to run either.
My advice to people has always been the same. If you ever see me running, start running, because there's something chasing me. Because it's the only time you will ever see me run.
Yeah, he's running from a bear or something else.
Or
the barn's on fire.
In danger. That's
right. An episode of Bear Loose.
Yeah. So again, Josh,
like
we'd love to have you come back on. We'll reach out to you. And we'd like to see where you are, like maybe third quarter this year, and see how the phones are coming out, sure. What our experiences are, and we'd love to have you on. And if you indulge us, we'd love to have a repeat.
Yeah,
showing.
And when you're all set up, we'd have a little talk.
Oh yeah,
I'll have a better setup going on here.
No, I don't mean I'm curious to what you'll have, what you're using, mics, cameras, PC, hardware, stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to it. So again, for everyone in the chat, Simon, TK, all the detail, everybody in the chat, my daughter popped in and out, El Jefe showing up. So we appreciate you guys taking your time and tuning into the show. And please,
one thing.
Yeah,
just sending a bit of love out to Jeff's brother.
Absolutely.
Hope he's definitely getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we donate some money, spend some time. It's a good cause, and hopefully he's getting better. And we want to make sure we extend our well wishes and thoughts to him as well. So for Sam, for Matt, for Josh Quinonez, thank you for showing up, taking time out of your busy day, and listening to our podcast. Again, it's Across the Pondcast, the best podcast you never heard of. We'll be on again next Sunday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. GMT. Not BST just yet. Almost. Getting close, right? When is BST?
BST when the clocks change. Yeah.
When is that like?
For now, we're GMT.
Okay.
March.
Cool. All right. So take care of yourselves. Be well. Enjoy your tech. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. See you next Sunday.